Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Georgia likely to kick it deep to get things started. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. One man in the backfield, and he gets it. At the 35, he's got room. Stopped him at the 41, but that's a big pickup of 15.
There's nothing better than opening drive, coming out as an away team. Everybody's got all that excitement, all that energy, and being able to run the football and physically exert yourself to start a football game.
Looking to throw on first down. Finds his tight end. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming. Guys, let's talk just for a second about running. Breaking into the top 15 is one step closer to the college football playoff. You've made it this far. The dream is within reach. The question becomes, will they take the next step, Jesse?
You got to keep winning. Now when we're talking about this team, you're hearing college football playoff in the same sentence because of where they're ranked in the top 15. So, David, as they move forward, they've got to continue to elevate and ascend with their talent and play on the field.
Yeah, and it's exciting, right? To be mentioned, it's exciting. To hear yourself talked about on shows and to be a team that's getting respect is great. Now, let's keep pushing that pedal to the floor to be the best team we can be.
To the air on first down. Unleashes one deep. And it's picked off at the goal line. That's a way to make a stand. Looking for more room. They finally make the stop, and not only the huge turnover, but the big return has them set up in business.
And I know this defense statistically hasn't been one of the best against the pass this year, but they have had some guys banged up. They believe they've got difference makers on the back end that just need to make more plays. That DB right there is one of those guys, and he does it here on the opening drive, getting a huge interception.
Hand off from the shotgun. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Looking downfield, it's Stockton. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep.
All right, that's your goal. Separate man from ball. Try to get your shoulder in there on the catch point and really give him something to think about. Physically jar that football and knock it out. Nice job by the defender.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Got it in the middle, it's Frazier. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one.
A nice job of awareness on defense there on that 3rd down. You know, you're expecting the offense to throw the football, but it's not just going to be receivers or tight ends you got to worry about. You got to keep your eye on where that running back is. They knew exactly where he would be, and they were able to make the tackle setting up 4th.
Boy, if they don't convert this 4th down, there will be questions to be answered. Makes the grab, got the conversion, it's still going. And he'll go down, but he has enough for the first down.
Well, I think the experience on offense was a big reason why the head coach felt confident going for it there on 4th down. He has a lot of guys that have played a lot of snaps. They've been in these big game moments before, ice in their veins, and you saw it there on that completion to keep the sticks moving.
And the Dogs have it with a 1st and 10. Now they'll run it to the right here. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
The Dogs can really attack on this 2nd and short. From the gun, the running back has it. And he'll have to check his fillings after that lick, but he did get the first down. And the Dogs hunkering down to pick up a first down on the ground.
And you can hear the sound of Larry Munson. Run the dang ball. That's what they've always built this program on, is running the football, physical running backs. That's what Georgia does.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
To the air, it's Stockton. Got it in the middle, it's Branch.
Nice job by the receiver on the in route there. And how about the speed? After he made his break, he was able to actually separate a little bit from the DB, helping out his QB on that one.
And the Bulldogs come to the line needing just inches for the first down. They try to pop a run on the draw. Knocked down in the backfield, and that'll bring up 4th down. They're in field goal range here on 4th down, but they're going to keep this offense on the field. Unloads to the wideout. It's picked off. That's 18 of those this season. He'll try to take it back. They finally get him down, but a huge return. Not only do they get the ball back, but man, did they set up some field position.
Really early in this game, you're seeing the ball hawks on both sides of the ball. Interception on the first drive of the game, and now they come out, and this defense gets a pick in return. There are a lot of dudes in the back end with speed and with the ability to close. What a phenomenal play by that young man just now to get the ball back to his offense.
Man, not much wiggle room for the ball carrier there.
I'm not really sure what they can do to try to create some space.
I know. Block back. How about the offensive lineman push some guy backwards and make some holes?
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. Snagged in the middle. It's Campbell. Gets it past the marker for a first down, and that's the way we will wrap up the first quarter. It has been all defense all the time in the early going as we wrap up the first quarter, and the stats certainly reflect that. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second. So after the break, they'll go back to work. They'll move the wide receiver. Looking downfield on first down. That's caught. It's Campbell. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
Man, a great job by the QB finding the running back, get him the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
They're down to the 20, 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on first down. Caught. That completion will take them inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
And the Scarlet Knights are threatening on 1st and goal. Just keep slinging it. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Campbell. Beck's going for the goal line. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening.
The offense trying to throw it there quickly down close to the goal line. Nice job by the defense tackling that catch.
They pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on 2nd and goal. Back to pass. He wants it all. Looking to get it in. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. You can grab, but you can't hold on. A defensive holding penalty will give this offense a first down. This offense in scoring position with a fresh set of downs. They'll run it. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, State University of New Jersey. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And with that kickoff going out of bounds, they will get great field position to start. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty.
Ready up. Over. 691, gas bar.
Scanning the field, it's Stockton. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. Defense showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. He'll start this drive firing, using his legs to buy some time. He holds it in, and nobody's close. That's where they'll mark him down, but what a play there to pick up a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Throws to the tight end. Complete to the right. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
How about this offense? They're rolling. They got a couple first downs together. Defense, next, what's your response? What do you got? You got to make some adjustments here.
From the 17-yard line, threatening to score on 1st and 10. From the red zone, looking for a space. They're working that left side. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
And that's a really good job by the defense understanding leverage. I can't let that fast sucker get outside of me towards the sidelines. Nice job expanding with him and then going and making a tackle. One of the hardest things to do in football is tackle guys in the open field. Great job going and getting them on the ground.
Second down, they'll go to the air. He's got it and still on his feet. Touchdown, Rutgers. A great catch and run for 6. On to attempt the try.
I think that pass play was simply designed just to get him the football in space and let him do the rest. Obviously, they're not throwing that into the end zone, but they feel like they've got guys, especially at the running back position, that if you just give them an opportunity, they can make people miss and score like he did right there.
On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. The give to the back. Got enough for the first. And he surges up to the 36-yard line, and they'll move the chain.
I'll tell you what, a few more runs like that, and defensively you start thinking more guys in the box, more big guys. I better stop this guy because he's unbelievable. Just a great job breaking off the big run, and the OC is going to give him the ball some more.
Love the push by the offensive line on that RPO play. Look how they just work the single teams and the double teams. You see linemen chipping off of their guys and climbing into the second level and getting a hat on the linebacker. That's why those types of plays are successful.
The Bulldogs can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Caught close to the marker, it's Branch. Defense uses the sideline there, and he gets it into plus territory at the 49. This offense has been sluggish, to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. They'll leave it with him. And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him. Quick tempo, no huddle offense. Second down, clock's running. Quarterback may change this route. Back to throw, it's Stockton. Rushes on him. And he just flat dropped it. I think he wanted to run before he secured it.
Well, nice job by the defense. They're playing with a big lead. They know the offense has to throw it, and they are inviting throws over the middle of the field, knowing they can break on these passes and maybe pick one up. Offense lucky that wasn't a turnover.
He gets it past the sticks, and Georgia has a first down.
Really nice job on third down by this offense. This offense has struggled on third downs throughout the season. Not even in the top 50, but you know what? When you make it third and short, when you have the run-pass option and you're not predictable, you can be more successful. So let's see if this offense can continue to put themselves in good positions.
To the air on second down. Makes the catch. It's Branch. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
Yeah, and third and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
It's fourth down, and they can make the field goal from here, but it looks as if they're going to leave the offense out there. On fourth down, looking for the completion. Hauls it in, the first down and more. Well, they just drained all of the suspense out of the fourth down conversion, moving the chains easily.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that fourth down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
And in this weather, man, you start to see more of this. You try to throw the ball harder to penetrate it through the weather and get it to your target, but just catching a football that's a little bit slippery sometimes, you'll see some of those drops, and it's just part of the game.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Branch. That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have one remaining in the half. Dropping back, it's Stockton. Makes the grab. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. Offense rushing to the line of scrimmage. Clock is stopped for the first down. They'll try to get it off quickly. Back's got it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia.
That is exactly what this offense needed to do. You talk about answering at the right time, right before the half, close this gap, create some momentum, go into the half, put something together, try to come out with your hair on fire and win this second half.
And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. That is what they mean when they say ball control, a 14-play touchdown drive. And the score comes on a 5-yard touchdown pass. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. Final seconds of the first half. Let's see if they can pull off a little magic. Use the play fake, now to throw. The sweet feet keeping the play alive. It is incomplete, and now there are 4 seconds remaining.
And the defense, they haven't had an answer for this guy. He has been lighting them up in the pass game early and often so far, and that time just not able to hook up with his quarterback.
One more play before the teams head to the locker rooms. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Escapes the pressure going right. Can't find a receiver, and down goes the quarterback. A sack to punctuate this first half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Stadium buzzing, kickoff team on the field, and we are ready to get this thing started. Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. Those 2 first-half turnovers really damaging, and the primary reason they find themselves trailing to start the third quarter.
And this is an offense that prides themselves on taking care of the football and then having explosive plays. You know they're playing angry right now. They're mad. They know they're the reason why they're down in this game, so I expect them to come out here, lighten it up here for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and this defense playing fast, playing physical, forcing things into action, forcing those turnovers. They played really well in this first half.
Great effort by the defense here. Offense trying to go wide receiver screen. How about the speed on defense rallying to the football?
And the Dogs come to the line on third down, trying to keep this drive alive. Wants to throw. It's Stockton. Caught near the sticks. It's Young. And he's brought down after a nice gain. This dude is putting in work out of the slot, and he is just wearing out this defense.
Man, you see it, Reese, in football. These slot guys are so quick, so athletic. You back them up off the football so you can't get hands on them, and you just...
He'll off one deep down the left side. He makes a grab, and he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all away. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the time to be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone. That was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. He'll take the return, try to get better field position. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. Has it back. They'll send the offense back onto the field. Their lead is gone, and they'll try to grab it back on this drive. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there. Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place, trying to help their defense. On the move. Across the 10, got it out to the 14. That's a gain of 5.
And defensively, one of the most important things is stopping the run, being physical up front. That was too easy for this offense. You can't give up 5 and 6 yards a pop on the ground. Like, that is a recipe for disaster. They got to be more physical, get off the ball, get downhill faster.
So now it's second and long. Looking to fire. Bring in the heat. No
When you talk about versatility at the running back spot, you got to talk about this guy in the conversation. He already has caught a touchdown in this one. They're still trying to throw him the football. That one goes incomplete, but I would keep this up if I'm on offense.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Got a man. It's Campbell. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
And that's why, as a defense, you want to set up third and long situations. You just want to be able to keep the football in front of you. It's okay for that quarterback to hit the running back on that pass. Now you have all those bodies flying to the football, and they're able to make a tackle.
You want to talk about aggressive or nuts? This offense is staying on the field inside their own 30. Off the RPO, throw right, looking for the chains. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
And they're showing you their intentions early in the game. It's fourth down, you're in your own end. We're going to be aggressive, and we're not just going to do this early. We're going to do this all game long. Awesome execution on a critical down.
Looking to throw again. Fires to the wideout. Just couldn't quite stay in bounds while making that grab. It's incomplete.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
Man, what a finish we could have. Tie game, third quarter here, 2nd and 10. Fires left. He put it out there for him, and the senior gave him a chance, but they couldn't make the connection.
And how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense, because it messes with the snap count. It messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
The dogs are barking and growling and trying to hold him here on third down. Looking to throw. They've got the screen set up. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it. The Scarlet Knights will punt it away on fourth down. The punters have had the day off up to this point, first one of the game. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. And what a drive that was the last time they had it. Basically the length of the field. Much better starting point this time. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. The Dogs have a lot of options on 2nd and inches. The RPO, fire complete to the left. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
You know, the defense doesn't have an answer for this slot guy right now. They may want to think about bracketing him, having a defender play to the outside and to the inside. Probably some sort of zone coverage where you're trying to get two bodies, forcing the quarterback to have to go somewhere else with the ball.
Draws are such a smart way to take advantage of fast defensive linemen that want to get upfield and get after the quarterback. It keeps them honest, makes them realize they got to play the run too. Great play call.
Back to throw, it's Stockton. A shot for the end zone. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at third down.
Well, the quarterback knew where he wanted to go with the ball. His intended target just wasn't open, so the quarterback made sure he put that football in the stands.
Fires to the middle. It's caught downfield. Right on the money with that throw. The defense was there, but they are in the red zone with a first down at the 12. Georgia going back to work with another first down. They'll run the option. He'll pitch it. Powers through. He'll be pushed out of bounds just short of the end zone, and that one saved a touchdown at least for now. Georgia heads to the line. try to blast their way in. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. We've reached the end of the third quarter, and we have a potential classic on our hands, all tied up as we take a peek at the stats. This is when winning plays are made, and we start right now in the fourth. Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. Trying to bull his way in. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Third and goal, where the fire purifies and separates contenders and pretenders. Trying to bully their way in. Touchdown, Dogs! And they grab the advantage, taking the lead here in the fourth.
And I love the physicality of this offense. It's third and goal. It's money time. I've got to be more physical than you. And that's exactly what this offense just did. Put the ball on the ground and put it in the end zone.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. And the Rutgers offense heads back onto the field. Things had not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to set. Time to take a shot. He's got it down the left side. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. You get a play like that and you feel like you can go in and finish the deal. It'll be 1st and 10 from just inside the 50. Throws to the wideout. Can't make the grab. Quarterback just missed him a little bit. Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. Misfired on the last play, they'll go back to the air. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's thrown to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
And after the big play to start the drive, now 2 straight incompletions, and they need to find a way on 3rd down. He's looking to throw. Now rolling to the left. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
Down a possession here in the 4th, and they'll need to convert on this 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Grabbed in the middle, it's Campbell. Will not get there. A 4th down stop.
Great coverage on that 4th down play. Nice job blanketing the receiver out wide. The defense, you could tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
Looking downfield, it's Stockton. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. Ball's in the deep ball. Oh, he thought for sure he was going to be able to house that one, but a huge pickup all the way down to the 12. They got the explosive play. Now to finish the deal, it's 1st and 10 from the 12. They go to the draw. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, they try to go with draw. They didn't catch the defense blitzing, so it wasn't a great look anyway. But up front, they just got beat regardless. And that back, David, had nowhere to go.
They had nowhere to go, but those offensive linemen, you got to set and you got to invite those defensive linemen up the field and kind of push them by. And you could tell they didn't do that. They didn't create any holes. There was really nowhere for him to go. You got to give him that first little hole. And
he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia! That'll give him a little more breathing room as they try to push this winning streak to 5.
And that is a drive and a score they absolutely had to have. Now making it a 2-possession game late in this one. It wasn't going to be enough to just play it safe, play it conservative, punt the ball away, and count on your defense. They were aggressive. They mixed it up. But getting that score, that is huge for their win probability now.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. On the move from inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. Rutgers has it back. They'll send the offense back onto the field. Not the day they had hoped to have, but when you are a ranked team, you are going to get everyone's best shot, and now let's see if they can pull this one out.
We know about this running back's versatility, and he's made some plays in this game so far, catching the ball. That time, though, he had no shot. Defender bearing down on him. We're able to get the hit and make sure it falls incomplete.
Right back up top on 2nd and 10. That pass is incomplete.
That's a throw the QB would like to have back. He just has to do a better job giving his receiver a chance to make the catch.
They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. A quick completion to the left, looking for the first down. He gets across the 25, steered out of bounds at the 26.
Well, trailing like they are right now in the 4th quarter, their execution offensively is just going to have to be at a premium. You can't afford a lot of incompletions at this point. Everybody is going to need to be on the same page moving forward.
Got a wide open receiver. And they're getting it rolling with that play to the 42-yard line.
Well, you're down 2 possessions. The defense knows you're going to take shots, so it's not going to be easy. But how about that explosive play and a 50-50 ball? Guy comes down with it, and that is perfect. You've got to score quick and get the ball back quickly here to win this game.
Moving out of the pocket. On the run, deep down the right side. It's caught. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it 1st and goal at the 6.
Well, this offense is showing you it doesn't take a lot of time for them to generate explosive plays through the air. Big completion on the previous play. They take another shot and hit it, and they've completely flipped the field.
Grab behind the line. It's Fletcher. He found some running room and needed just a few inches more to put it in the end zone. 2nd and goal coming up.
This is the area of the field defensively. It really doesn't matter what they've done to get here. You got to bow up, try to force the field goal.
Touchdown, Scarlet Knights! The offense puts up 6 for that trip to the end zone. A score for the big fella here. Why are tight ends so effective in the red zone?
Well, these aren't the guys that are going to burn by you and go for 70 most of the time, but when you can use their big-bodied frames, threaten them to run the football and be a blocker in the running game, and now you slip them in the secondary, make that big play.
He's looking to throw. He's got it in the end zone for the 2 as they draw a little closer. An 84-yard drive there. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. The give as they work on that clock. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Georgia going up tempo. Looking to throw, it's Stockton. There's a hit. And the pressure will get there. The sack. Down he goes in the waiting moments. That could be a costly play. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
And that is a frustrating possession for this offense. You wanted to run the football, maybe take some time. You did the opposite. Got in a bad situation, threw the football, stopped the clock. Not how you manage a game late in the 4th quarter.
Georgia sends out the punt team. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. Return's going to get it up around midfield. He'll be down at the 49-yard line. So first play of the drive coming here from their own 49. They'll start this drive going to the air. He's taking the deep shot. And that pass is caught at the 25. Chopping up this defense, and they've got it all the way down to the 23.
This quarterback has been really good today. Has been on top of it, seeing things really, really well. That pass right there put him over the 300-yard mark. That's a pretty good day.
See what they dial up on 1st and 10. Caught behind the line. It's Weber. Turning it on. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. This crowd even louder now on 2nd down as they try to hold on. Wants to go up top. Tight end finds a soft spot. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, it's tough for the defense. The tight end's just so big and physical, and it's hard to drag him down. He only needed a few yards to get that 1st down. Defense will have to do a better job next time.
Huge moment coming here as they try to quiet this raucous, crazy crowd. Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Oh, he just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. How about this defense? The door shut with a fumble recovery, and the offense should be able to run off the clock from here. He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. The give to the tailback. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation. A hostile environment can have a major impact on even the most composed, well-prepared team. So how much did the crowd play a factor in this upset?
Well, this is what makes college football so great, the home crowd and how they were able to impact this game. No doubt about it, David. They played a big factor.
And they're still jacked up, and they're still excited. They play a big factor, and it affects everything. College football, road atmospheres, they're tough. Even when the team isn't ranked like they weren't today, these are the types of moments that can jump up and bite you.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.